But speaking of recruits, interestingly, Miami does have a big recruit coming to this Notre Dame game. Um, Derrek Cooper is still going to Notre Dame week one to open the season for Miami. Jaden, what do you think about this? Is it a big deal? Is it no deal? Should we even care necessarily? Or
It's kind of the way that college football's been going with the open recruitment. I commit to Texas, I sign my NIL, I do all that, but I'm still going to keep my recruitment open. It's odd. It's definitely what the way that it is right now, and it's not like Miami's the only team I think he's going to visit. I heard from On3 that he might see Georgia, and he might go back to FSU and all these schools. I have no idea what it means. I wish I could tell you. In if I were to say right now, if where he goes to school, I still think he ends up at Texas because Texas probably gave him the most amount of money. But I do think it's interesting. I mean, he is a guy from Fort Lauderdale, probably grew up watching the Canes and all that. Maybe he just wanted to watch his team play one last time and against Notre Dame. Free trip, free recruitment. Like, can't hurt him. Can't hurt him at all. But it is interesting that he has not shut down his recruitment 100%, even with the commitment to Texas on July 28th.
yeah, definitely interesting. I won't say it's nothing just because we were talking about it a few weeks ago when we were talking about sorry, I'm thinking about the one corner who reclassed and the safety Miami brought in.
Mhm.
Kind of talking about how there's recruitment's kind of always open now. It's gotta stay on the recruiting trail even if you have guys quote unquote locked in, just because things change throughout a season, especially if it's between an off season, coaches might leave, coaches might stay, guys who brought them there might not necessarily be there the entire time. So you got to constantly keep on the recruiting ground, and then if anything works out, like maybe Texas's RB coach or gets poached or whatever, and Derrek Cooper's like maybe not necessarily. Kind of keeping a good connection with guys, even if they've not necessarily committed to, even if they've not committed to your program, is still big. Which is why I think Miami's still easily welcoming Derrek
Mhm.
Cooper home. I mean, for this home game, he is from the state. He is from our backyard, and so you want to keep a guy like that around the program enough where if things change in his head, maybe he's swayed to stay, come flip his commit and end up at Miami. We'll see as time goes on. I don't think it's nothing, but I don't think it's like a big. It's not a big something, but it's
Mhm.
definitely not like, it's not. It's not. It's definitely. It's not nothing. It's not
Yeah.
nothing. I'll say.
Continuing, but that's the thing. I think Texas has to continue their recruiting of him, which is to me just how it's changed completely. It's just entirely different than what it once was, where it's like, oh, I've committed to the school, but I'm not 100% that like I will be enrolling at that school next year. It's just the way that it is, and these universities have to just continue to recruit them as if they haven't fully committed. So that's just how the way the sport has gone. Something could absolutely happen where he maybe decommits or he goes somewhere else. Although I do, again, Cristobal right now, where does he go? I still think he ends up at Texas, but it is something to look out for, be potentially interested in. Miami beats down on Notre Dame. Could that change something? If
Hey,
Texas were
you know
to
what I
lose
mean?
by 50 to Ohio
Fletcher and
State,
Lyle, 40 carries each. Pound the rock
yeah.
at Hard
I mean,
Rock.
it's interesting that he chose to go to Miami, Notre Dame over Texas, Ohio State. That's
Yeah,
that's
that's another
something.
thing to think about. Maybe it's just because it's closer. It'll be during this.
Of course.
He still has this whole senior season of high school to
That's a good
play.
point. Yep.
So that might be why it might be local, but you never know. I mean, I think Texas would easily welcome him to go watch that game against Ohio State, but you know, but maybe it's just because he
Yeah.
wants to stay close with school games, playing high school still. So probably that's why. But still, interesting that he did choose to go to that one
Yeah.
instead of Texas Ohio State, which they probably could have just flown him out for the weekend. I mean,
Could
Texas.
have. It could be. It literally could mean literally anything. It could be
Mm-hmm.
nothing. Could be something. Like we gotta wait and watch as the season transpires between I guess all sides: Georgia, Texas, FSU, Miami, and then his own high school season, his senior year. So
Mm-hmm.
there's just a lot of moving pieces. But you would imagine that at the moment, like Texas is still his top school, and maybe it's just the fact that he has school, and he was like, "Well, I'll just go 15 minutes to Miami to watch
Yeah.
the game for free." It could be
So
as simple as that.
could be as simple as that. Could be
Yeah,
anything
could
really.
be anything.
Could be a million different things, but I think it's definitely not nothing in that it's definitely good. It's definitely good that even though he's not committed to Miami, that they're still taking him on visits and stuff like that, just because you never know what could happen. And I think it's good to just kind of have that in your back pocket in case he decides to reopen his commitment and potentially flip. So
Yeah. One thing
we will.
Mario has said in the past a lot is that he's big on continuing recruitments for a lot of guys, no matter if they've committed to a school or not. He's said it on numerous occasions that he has to continue his recruitment. I believe one person he did it on was Jackson Cantwell, who had originally committed to Georgia, and Miami just kept committing. They kept persisting on him. Lamar Brown, I know they didn't get him, but they were insisting on like maybe he does come to Miami and all that, and they were recruiting them hard. So, which is just, it probably entirely of what makes Mario Cristobal such a great recruiter. So you imagine he's probably doing the same with Derek Cooper, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah. So hopefully for the Canes, it doesn't end up working out. Would be a
Yeah,
sick player to add, especially
unbelievable.
5-star, great player from your own backyard. Would be a great addition
Yep.
if they were able to flip him, but not. I don't necessarily think this is too much to say either way on whether or not he'd flip or not to
Yeah,
Miami. But
absolutely.
what you do know, you have to do. You do have to come out and have good showing, just in case that does, you know, make him reconsider some things.